Hey everybody, and welcome back to Superman Crypto. It's been a little while. I thought we'd have a good look at TitanX. Going to be covering Zen coming up as well. So TitanX, more bullish than you think. I know there's a little bit of dismay out there, but really we're going to look at the numbers and look at what's happening in the ecosystem because I think you'll be surprised to the upside. Maybe we might see some speculators come into the market as well. It's going to be fun to see that play out. So let's check it out. TitanX is more bullish than you think. And don't forget to share the channel around, share the video and all that good stuff. Hit the like button on the way in. Let's get into it, folks. Let's check out the TitanX ecosystem. And bam, here we go. So here we are on TitanX Hub. This is by Mike Dean, of course, a popular member of the TitanX community, doing a lot of great stuff there, providing good information. TitanX Hub has got all the second ladder protocols sitting on top of TitanX. And of course, we can see TitanX prices here for each protocol. Obviously, TitanX and Hyper are the two Jake Sharp protocols. And of course, you can see third-party protocols, DragonX, Helios, and then Baby DragonX out there with prices, as well as Titan Legends there and Titans of Battle also burning through some TitanX as well. Now, obviously, that burn is a key metric for TitanX going forward. And we're looking forward to many, many more protocols launching. And some of them are really, really exciting to the upside. Been pleasantly surprised myself. So let's first of all, before we get into second layer protocols, which are going to, pretty much burn off TitanX, let's look at the buy and burn itself, right? So the buy and burn itself is looking pretty good. We got the V2 at $11.5 million at the moment. And of course, Ethereum is about $3,300 at the moment on Ethereum. And of course, the buy and burn there, 11,500,000 on V2. Currently, 3,509 ETH in the pool. It's been going down by about maybe 15 to 20 ETH a day. So it's not what we would call an equilibrium where, the inflation versus the amount being burned is equal. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. And of course, it is currently burning 3.33 ETH every 280 minutes. And that's pretty much where it's at on V2. Now, obviously, in reserve is V1. V1 is 14.6 million US dollars. There's 4,458 Ethereum in there. So we need to add those two up. You've got over $26 million in the V1 and V2 burns. Now, obviously, if the price goes up then of ETH, then all this is going to go up. So let's say it goes up 50%, then obviously 26 million is going to go up by 50% there, which would be pretty amazing, right? So it's just going to go up. If it goes up twice, ETH goes up twice, then obviously it goes up more and more, except of course taking into account that we're burning through a little bit on the buy and burn V1 every day. Now, obviously the Genesis wallets are adjusting, or the buy and burn is being adjusted to adapt to the current conditions, and of course keeping into account what's coming up in the future. Pretty amazing. Now, obviously, we've got that $26 million, which could become $52 million or thereabouts if ETH doubles or more, and of course subject to obviously the burn each day. And then of course we've also got more things out there, right? We've got the payout pools. So the payout pools is pretty cool. And why is that relevant? Well, because we've got DragonX, right? DragonX is a whale staker and it has a huge percent of the shares in TitanX, right? So that's why it's so important. And I can't remember exact number it is at the moment, but maybe about 45%, somewhere in that ballpark. And it's doing pretty well. So let's have a look why that's important in addition to the buy and burn. Well, of course, we've got these payouts coming up and it's going to earn let's say a good 45% or so of it. And of course, you can see it's got in the 90-day payout, which is coming up soon. I mean, you can see that 77% the way through already. It's going to get probably about half of that or so, or 45. So let's say it gets 45 ETH, so maybe $140,000 out of that or so, give or take. And of course, we got the 369-day coming up in October, which is going to be a real nice surprise. Still sitting in there is 8.2 million US dollars. 2,500 ETH, and of course half that's going to go, let's say half it goes into DragonX, and that's going to go to buying and burning TitanX in October. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of money sitting in there. So let's say add another $4 million. That takes us to about $30 million just at the moment at the current price of ETH. ETH price doubles, it goes to 60 million, right? Triples, goes to 90 million, subject to the V1 burning, V2 burning, sorry. Now, the other bullish thing is we also have Some of the other protocols are going to have mechanisms that help burn TitanX in the future as well. But in particular, we're going to look at Hyper. And of course, Hyper has the Vortex. And of course, that's going to play out in the future as well. So let's go to the buy and burn of the Vortex. Obviously, there's still a little bit of ETH left in, about 42 ETH. And of course, we can see that the ETH has been adjusted 1 ETH per 180 minutes just to keep that going. So it's about 7 ETH a day or so, maybe 5, 6, 7 ETH a day. And that's been adjusted downwards. And of course, subject to the ETH, we've got about 42 ETH left in the pool. And of course, that means, maybe there's a week or so of ETH left in there at the current burn rate, which has been adjusted downwards to make it last longer. But of course, we've got the Hyper buy and burn that sort of just trickles away, kicks the can down the road, that buys Hyper and burns that. But the Vortex is the one we're going to look at. It's got $817,000 in there, 249 ETH. So there's another repository of ETH there at the moment. And of course, that's going to kick in at every 98 days. So where's it here? The ETH here. The Vortex stores 8% of the ETH. ETH is going to be used to buy TitanX and then burn Hyper with it. So that's going to play there, and that's going to be bullish, right? Day 98 and day 196. So pretty good there. And of course, we've got more firepower, basically, isn't it? More firepower there in the protocol. So that's a lot of stuff sitting in reserve. We also know that some of the other protocols, I think it's either Blaze or Fire, is going to also have another a pretty bullish burning mechanism in there as well. Now, some of the other things that we know besides the buy and burn is that we're probably going to go multi-chain, and that's going to lock down a lot more TitanX in different liquidity pools and over on other chains and things like that. So that effectively takes supply off into another chain area. So that's kind of cool. More V3 pools, of course, which is the more and more gets locked in there, the more scarce it becomes over time. So you can burn it and destroy it. You can lock it away in V3 pools. You can push it over to other chains. There's different strategies there. All of these are things evolving in TitanX. Now, where should we go from here? We're going to go to the second layer protocols, and we're going to talk about some of the ones coming up at the moment. So we've got Titan Blaze coming up there. I may have an interview with that team coming up, so stay tuned for that. Titan Fire, these are all, I think, are very great tokenomics. Titan Blaze, Titan Fire. We've got Shogun still in the mix there. And of course, that's a Jake Sharp project. That's the third one. We also know that Jake's working on some secret source as well. That's why he's mostly coding at the moment. And of course, then we've got some other bullish stuff like Ouroboros, and we're going to play a little video on that in a minute, and Pulsar as well. Now, Ouroboros has got a stable coin. We're going to talk about that. It's a pretty big deal, and Pulsar there as well. And also Titan Farms, which I think could be huge as well. So we've got, I think, most of these that I really like are really quality projects. They're not like mediocre. They look really, really good. So there's probably at least a half a dozen projects in there that are really, really going to be useful for getting TitanX off the market. So these second layer protocols are pretty critical. Jake knows all the stuff, of course, and he's building on that theme of the second layer protocols, utilizing TitanX in the ecosystem. Pretty neat there. Now we're going to have a quick look at. I'm going to have an interview probably with Titan Blaze coming up. We're going to have a look at Ouroboros protocol. We've got a little video for that, so let's play that while we're here and go for gold. Enjoy it. It's a good one. you can see that looks pretty cool. And that is Ouroboros. They've been pretty quiet. We haven't heard much from them. And then we get this cool little trailer about titanium and, of course, USDX stablecoin. And that's a nice surprise to the upside. And you're going to be able to do collateral for that. It's a little bit like a modified liquidity fork. And, of course, it's also going to have smelting and other things like that. A limited amount of ORX tokens, 1 billion, and, of course, lots more in there. I think that's going to be mega huge. I think people are really going to like that. And, of course, that leverage play stablecoin, big deal. So that was a nice surprise from that team. Let's check out quickly some of the others. And, of course, we know Jake Sharp is very keen on Titan Blaze. Like I say, I might have an interview coming up with them. Titan Fire as well is looking pretty good in my view. A lot of these have referrals too, as you saw with that titanium one. Referrals, I think it's going to be really good for influencers and community members, be able to spread the word so all that viral stuff goes on. It's going to be really good. Shogun, of course, we're looking forward to that on the staking side. And then, of course, we've got multi-chain Pulsar. Witcher X, of course, has got a drop at the moment. So if you haven't checked that out, that's Eros. Definitely check it out. You probably got it in your wallet. A lot of you, some of you may not have qualified. It did depend on whether you had liquid in your wallet. Definitely check out Oros there. That's currently trading as well. And you can also stake it and lock it for rewards also. So that's rolling out as well from Witcher X. And then, of course, TitanX farms, which I think is going to be mega big as well, related to the Dragon X team, right? And looking forward to hearing more about that. So I think we've got at least half a dozen really quality protocols, maybe even more, up to 8. And who knows what secret sauce Jake is working on as well. So we've got the big buy and burn. We've got all the 6 big, 6 to 8 maybe big DeFi, GameFi type of protocols coming. And of course, we've got a few pure NFT games in there as well coming to market. I think that bodes pretty well. And of course, at the moment, TitanX price is at 602224. So it's kind of a good cheap price where we're actually being able to burn a lot more tokens as well. So that's pretty good there too. Now let's jump over to the price. Have a quick look at TitanX while we're here. You can see obviously we've got a down chart at the moment on the daily. Sitting at the moment, we actually bumped a little bit from yesterday, but we're just coming off the lows there. And you can see that. Let's have a quick look at the buy and burn effect. Because it's been pretty impressive still. Yeah, so 3.31 ETH at the moment through the buy and burn is burning 48.73 billion tokens. And now it's only every, 280 minutes, but man, that's a really good burn there as well. Now imagine if we had speculators coming in and accumulating TitanX. Boy, oh boy, this thing would really start to tear to the upside. And of course, going into the hyperminers as well. Hyperminers, let's have a quick look at the mining at the moment. Obviously, the price is being pulled back on that. Only 8% in the yield, but if you took a bit of a leap of faith, might be a good ratio play for sort of a max mining period. In any case, people can buy up TitanX as well, and of course that would maybe start the hyper there as well. Now, the one area that Jake hasn't been doing much of, which I guess he should do, albeit that reflects the TitanX price and the buy and burn, is a trade-off there potentially, and that is get on with more streamers. He hasn't been streaming much, which would be really great. Obviously, a huge impact there, maybe with Crypto Kindness and others. So if he's out there, to encourage him to do that. And of course, he's always welcome here on Superman Crypto. All right, so let's move on to what's in the future, right? So we talked about buy and burn, talked about all the second layers coming, and I'm going to go deeper into those in coming videos. So if you're wondering why I'm only just covering this overview, we're going to go more of a deeper dive into those in the future. So let's go to Mike Dean's dashboard here on June. And we can see that we've got future inflation coming up. Let's have a look at the 90-day, shall we? You can see that we're really got quite a few low days. 357 coming up billion. We got a 305 there on the 16th of April. And of course, you guys know after the 20th of April is the halving. So the halving is just in here. It's not too far away, is it? The halving here, 661 billion on that day. And then, of course, after the 25th of April, we really dropped down onto another lower level of new inflation coming out. You can see we dropped down. We're starting to get days. We've only got 262 billion coming out on the 29th of April, 249 on the 14th of May, 236 on the 21st, and so on. You can see there's many of those days ahead. In any case, yeah, by the time we get to the 24th of April there, we really do start falling off into much lower periods, with a few outliers in the house there. Pretty good. And if we look even further afield to the whole whole future mints, then we're pretty low all the way through to mid-July, and then we start to head up to what I call the big white wall, right? The big white wall with the white walkers behind it, and of course we do have some buying mechanisms in there, as I said, like Vortex, like some third-party protocols that will be eating up some of this supply. So that's kind of cool, and of course the big buy and burn. And we've got second layer protocols coming as well. So it's going to be fun to see this play out. By the time we get through to October, though, not much out there. And of course, we know that we've got that, they got lots of burns coming in September from that. I think it's in here. We've got that Vortex coming in here right in the middle. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with all inflation's out, what the future holds there for TitanX. And of course, what will the price of Ethereum be? And of course, how big will that buy and burn be? And of course, all the second layer protocols. So much stuff in store. So hopefully I've showed you that probably TitanX is probably way more bullish than you think. And maybe we'll even get speculators in there that eat some of the supply off as well. That just helps things. And of course, people getting into hyperminers, spreading the word, and of course, all the second layer protocols, particularly the titanium one was a really bullish upside there with the stablecoin lending. That could be massive for TitanX. So it could be many of these other protocols. I'm certainly looking forward to the Blaze, Fire, Shogun, Ouroboros, Titanium, Pulsar, Witcher X, and of course Oris. They're playing its part a little bit there, and Titan Farms is going to be pretty cool. And then we've got some games for entertainment like Titan Wars and Titan Battles and Titan Legends and things like that to enjoy as well. And who knows what else is being developed down the line by DragonX, Jake Sharp, and other teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that just under 20 minutes video. We're going to build on this in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, leave your thoughts in the video description, and I'll get back to all those comments. Take care, everybody, and I'll be doing a video on Zen coming up soon because that is hyper bullish as well. So let's check it out. All right, bye for now.